And that was Demons by Tim Petrus. I'm your host, Mysterio Music, and I'll be keeping you company on this spooky October evening. Keep it here on 66.6, LA's spookiest radio station. Ha 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 ha.
Last night that you hear dance in the night, can't judge your heart, too many steps. I don't need you to save me. I don't need you to cure me. I don't need you and your antidote, for I am my disease. I don't need you to free me. I don't need you to help me. I don't need you to lead me through the light. I will always fall and rise again. You're venomous. How and cause I'm a survivor. Yeah, I am a fighter. I will fall and rise above. And in your hate I find love. Cause I'm a survivor. Yeah, I am a fighter. I will not hide my face. I will not fall from grace. I'll walk into the fire, baby. All my life I was afraid to die. But now I come alive inside this place. You don't want me to love you. You don't want me to need you. You don't want to look at me, for you will turn to stone. You don't want me to hurt you. You don't want me to bite you. You don't want me on my aching soul, for I will only fall and rise again. You venomous. How when I'm a survivor. Yeah, I am a fighter. I will fall and rise above. And in your hate I find love. Cause I'm a survivor. Yeah, I am a fighter. I will not hide my face. I will not fall from grace. I'll walk into the fire, you to save me, 'cause I'm a survivor. Yeah, I am a fighter. I wanna hide my face, I wanna fall from grace. I'll walk into the fire, baby. All my life I was afraid to die, but now I come alive inside this, alive inside this, alive inside this fire.
Hello my darlings, here she is, it's me, yes, like this, that vamp of camp, Miss Luna Lestrange, and here we are once again for the 4th instalment of Luna's Drag Macabre. And as you can see, I'm quite emotional tonight because, well, it is the last regular episode of this season, which is devastatingly sad. However, it does also mean that we are one step closer to the gates of hell. In the last 4 weeks, can I just say I have been blown away by the sheer amount of fucking talent that has entered this season, and I can't thank every single contestant enough for making it what it is, because if it wasn't for you guys, this season would be nothing. And you know how I said, well, Bones doesn't have a place in this season? Well, I've now got one better. Allow me to present to you one of our grand prizes, the Luna's Drag Macabre Crystal Skull. Aren't they gorgeous? One of our contestants will be taking this masterpiece home, ready to blind everyone when the sun comes shining in and hits the skull. But that's not all they could win. Shall we have a little reminder about the rest of our prize packages? I think we should. Roll the tapes. The winner of Luna's Drag Macabre Season 1 will receive a handcrafted crystal skull trophy courtesy of House of Lestrange, a customisable human hair wig by Jazz Alexander, a bespoke Paul's Creepy Creatures creation based on the winning drag persona, a gift card from Witchy Panda Crystal Jewellery, a piece of artwork hand-drawn by Rachel Jeffrey, and a hand-picked selection of Sonomi Queen Bling. Fabulous. And finally, let's introduce our judges once again. So, of course, we start with the one, the only, Crystal Paul. How are you, my love? What are your predictions for this episode? What are your predictions for the finale? How somber are you feeling that it's our last regular episode, my love?
It is the last episode, and I am channeling all my crystal ball energy. Oh, that's good energy. And I predict a winner. Oh, yes. I'm one of the most known crystal balls in the world because of my predictions. And I predict a winner.
Thank you, Crystal Paul. I can't wait to see how that turns out. And of course, the wicked old witch herself, but I think she's shown to have a little bit of heart this season for a change. Granny Vicky. Now, how are you, my love? It's the final 4 out of the 16 before we hit the finale. How you feeling? Are you ready to rock and roll?
Darling, of course I've got a heart. It's just buried under these immense layers of excess adipose tissue. And for anyone that doesn't understand what that means, it's body fat. Here we are at the final. Can you believe we're here already? All I can say is thank fuck.
Beautiful. I can't wait to go on this journey with you once again, my love. And finally, it's time to introduce our special guest judge for this week, and this one is extremely close to my heart. They were the first person that I ever learned any form of makeup from, and if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't even be doing drag today. So, without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to give a very warm welcome to LA-based makeup artist, writer and filmmaker, Ord-Faced, my inspiration. How are you, my love? Thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
You are gorgeous, stunning, amazing, one of a kind, and thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest on your exciting panel tonight, and thank you for that marvelous introduction. Hello, my lovely people. My name is Kat, also known as Oddfaced. I'm from what you could call YouTube old school. Back in the day, before influencer was even a word, I was really into making makeup tutorials, specifically anything Halloween, special effects, or character performance based. I really enjoyed making cinematic intros and embodying and becoming the character. Outside of that, who am I? I am a freelance makeup artist here in Los Angeles. As of the past 10 years, where did the time go? I don't know, but I spent a lot of time doing makeup for like haunted maze events, films, music videos, photo shoots, live events. I tried out weddings, that was interesting. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I'm also a film student because why the heck not? I've really been enjoying watching all your drag performances. So much talent, so much nostalgia. Like watching these things made me miss, when I would spend a bit more time on doing things like that. My favorite kind of art to make is anything that embodies something usually pretty dark, like grief or ancestral trauma or religious induced guilt, and turning it into art. Because what else are we gonna do?
Before we move along any further, it's time for our mental health chat of the week. So, how are you? How's your head? I've personally had all of the complaints and ignored the lot of them. The opening number, once again, a very, very, very close song to my heart. Extremely close song to my heart. And I'm not even going to really go and explain the number because I think it's one of those songs that really speaks for itself. The lyrics say everything you need to know, and I just had to try and recreate the music video because it's incredible, and it's one of those songs that's got me through some of the darkest times of my life. The charity we'll be highlighting today is Youngminds, and Youngminds are the UK's leading mental health charity for children and young people. Now they're of course an extremely important charity that provide a lot of information and a lot of help for children, young adults and their parents that are suffering with mental health conditions. So some of the services that they provide, their website has got a wealth of information on it. They've got a huge amount of feelings explained, symptoms, various conditions explained, certain medications, as well as information regarding medication. There's self-help advice, there's ways to help other people suffering with mental health conditions, there's parents' advice, and of course there's a really large bank of information as well about the next steps to getting more serious mental health support from local services and GP as well. And I think that would be really nice just to help ease the anxiety around it, because from what I've seen it explains everything really nicely, breaks everything down into little easy to read sections, so you've got all the information that you'll need. For young people and children there is an emergency sort of crisis line that they can text message, and this is run by trained volunteers as well as being supported by clinical supervisors, so you know that the person on the other end is really there to sort of help and guide your child as best they can. To access these services, all you need to do is text YM to 85258 and you should get a response as quickly as possible. If parents are struggling with helping out a child with a mental health condition, or they just got some sort of concern regarding children and mental health, they can also contact Youngminds on 0808 802 5544, and those lines are open Monday to Friday between 9:30 and 4. So really great work over at Youngminds, and of course you can visit them at youngminds.org. All of their information will be in the description boxes. Please send them a little donation if you can, volunteer if it's within your vicinity, and do give them all the support and love because they do a brilliant job. Thank you, Youngminds. So I think the time has come to press on and meet our first monster of this evening, don't you think? I, for one, am very excited to see what this performer has up their sleeve. So without further ado, make some noise for Draven. Let's meet the monster.
My name's Kai, also known as Draven, and I'm going to be a competitor in this year's competition. Draven is this like completely different drag creature to what Kai is, and I really love what I can do with Draven. I started drag in 2018 around Halloween time, and I've just loved like taking it so much further than I ever thought I could, which is why I really wanted to be a part of this competition. Draven's personality is very much like my own, quite punk and rebellious and likes to fuck with gender. Draven's definitely kind of like an activist like me, and our styles kind of both imitate each other. You know, we're very gothic, very edgy, that kind of stuff. But I like to take it further with Draven. Draven really is just like a feminine extension of myself. Draven is a way that I can express my femininity comfortably, and a way that I can just have fun and mess around with it and play with gender and gender roles and stereotypes and stuff like that. For my performance, I really wanted to focus on mental health, because that's probably one of my worst demons and stops me from doing a lot of things. I wanted to focus mainly on the idea of trauma and how it can affect you and how messy and chaotic it can be. And that's what I really wanted to portray in my video. I wanted to use my different characters, so me and Draven and Zozo, just to kind of bring all of those elements together and show that this issue affects everybody. Zozo and Draven and Kai, you know, all struggle with the same things. I mean, mental health is everywhere and it's constant and it's a struggle. And it was very difficult for me to do this video because I'm in the middle of another mental health crisis. So I think it was very poignant for me to make this video and to focus on recovery and showing how I'm feeling through my art, which I feel like I did quite well. In my video, I wanted to focus on trauma and the way that it has affected me, and I wanted to show that by putting in snapshots of me as a kid, and also with the people that mean the most to me, so my sister, my cousin, my mum. Those people are the people that keep me going, and are the people that have also been through a lot and have made it out the other side. But I also wanted to show pictures of the people that have hurt me and the people that have caused me so much pain but have made me the person that I am today, and subsequently has made Draven the drag queen they are today. My creative process, like going into this, was a really difficult one because I'm kind of limited with space and filming equipment and stuff like that, because I don't live at home at the moment. So trying to film in my shared front room all night because I had to keep changing looks was very difficult, but I pulled through and I'm really proud of the video that I made. I think I should win because I'm something different that the drag scene has not necessarily seen before, and I think I represent a lot of people. You know, I'm an AFAB, queer, trans person in the drag scene, just trying to make it like everybody else, so it's fucking 10 times harder, but it doesn't stop me. And I think that it's time to see that representation in our scene. And I think as well, Draven has grown so much over the years, and I just want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and see where I can go with this and just get better and learn more and educate people and have a bigger, better platform to share my art and to share my activism. It would mean so much to me to win because I am a weird alternative artist, and in this society, in this, you know, culture, we are not appreciated the same as mainstream drag artists. So to be seen for the artist I am, which is fierce and unapologetic and raw and creative, it would mean the world to me.
Surface, feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. This lack of self-control I fear is never ending. Put under the pressure of walking I can't in your shoes. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. Holding too tightly, afraid to lose control. Against my will, I stand beside my own reflection. It's falling apart, right in front of you. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. So and every second I waste is more than I can face. Crawling in my sin, these wounds they will not heal. Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. Can't be less like you, and I know I may end up failing too, but I know you were just like me, but someone disappointed in you. Crawling in my sin, these wounds they will not heal. Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. Finally, what you got me to see what is real. Finally, what you got me to see what is real.
Thank you so much to Kai, Draven and Zozo. That was an incredibly moving and really, really nicely put together performance piece there. Thank you so much for that. I just want to put it straight out there that you were another one. While I was casting, I was looking at and I was like, I think you may be one to watch. With the limited resources and space that you had, I think you did a fantastic job and you really, really lived up to what I was expecting from you. And I am so impressed. I think all three of the looks that you did were fantastic. I thought they all told a different story. I enjoyed the different levels of the song, the different parts of the lyrics that were going over. Everyone did a different part of that, so it was almost like you had a band together. Plus, Linkin Park's Numb never fails to win me over. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. Let's hear and see what our judges have got to say. Crystal Paul, how did you find Draven? Are you scared of clowns, my love?
Draven, you gave us not one, not two, but three of you, and how all three of you worked together, interacted not just in the edit, but in conveying the story, the emotions. It was so well considered, so well executed, and you used the space you had incredibly well. And I think you should be damn proud and damn happy with what you did in channeling the energy that you had. It was all so well done. The song fitted it so well. It just kept it all visually so real, and I absolutely love your drag. I love the drag queen that is Draven. Kai as a person has such a sweetness to them, and that monstrous clown thing on the right, they were wonderful, and I love the little name badges.
Thank you, Crystal Paul. Moving on. I'm sick of this bitch, but she's gonna give her opinion whether I like it or not. Granny Vicky, what did you think of Draven?
Okay, so something that's not very well known about me is that trauma is a field that I work in. To see someone come on screen and use trauma as they're in a demon is something that speaks to my soul, and very, very clever. I really liked the three distinct characters that you had there on screen, and you even had the little, like, their names on them so we could see which character was what, which I really liked, because not having seen you perform before, I didn't know which character was which, but they were so fabulous. The only thing I will say is that I don't think the overlay needed to be quite so prominent. I found at points it was quite distracting from the message and the performance itself. I would have liked that kind of old school overlay to just dial back a little bit so we could have focused more on you and the message that you were giving. Also, Linkin Park, great choice. Loved it.
Lovely, thank you, my dear. And finally, we come to our extra special guest judge for this week, Ordface. How did you find Draven? I'm pretty sure that was up your alley. It was creepy. It had a message behind it. How did you find that, my love?
Draven, yes, it was definitely creepy, and for me, when it comes to art or performances, creepy is a compliment. There was so much character, and I love how you chose to design and create and embody 3 different characters to really show how I agree and I believe that everyone has like multiple characters in them. It's just waiting for, like, are we going to give it the invitation to come out, and how are we going to express that? You were very successful in showing what you're going through right now in your mental health journey through your art. Putting snapshots of yourself as a kid and also of people who have hurt you was a really bold and unique decision that I wasn't expecting and I've never quite seen before. It directly shows just how you as a person and these characters have been created, both from things that were really hurtful and also like really loving. Especially, I could feel the love that you have for your mom. You really showed that instead of trauma just being something that happens to you, you took it and melded it and made it your own and told the story of it in your own way. And to me, that's art, and I know it's not easy to do. I really enjoyed your attention to detail and things like the red ribbons that were hanging from your wrists, which I'm assuming are about, you know, a painful experience in your life, and just how you turned that into art and how you were showing that without even saying. And I love the way you blended your makeup, the contouring, just like the eyeshadow, the shapes, the color choices you made, the blending. It's just done so well, and it's just like, oh, I have a special place in my heart also for clowns in artwork, in performance, and just the symbolism behind it on how clowns choose to literally paint on their face the emotion they're feeling, very well knowing that the emotion doesn't define them and is not them, but it's just like how they're feeling in that moment and what they're experiencing at this moment in this time in their life. So I really enjoyed that. Your vulnerability and artistry is so alluring, and I'm so happy to hear that you're proud of what you created, because I am proud alongside you.
Thank you, my love, and thank you to Draven for sharing your story and producing such a fabulous performance. That was incredible. Next on our journey to the underworld, we must jet back off to somewhere in the United States to meet one of my personal favourite drag names that I've heard in a very long time, Killed a Man. Let's meet the monster.
Hello, my name is Killed a Man. I am a non-binary drag queen from Des Moines, Iowa, USA. I do a mostly alternative, kind of spookier drag, but I really like to step outside the box into different aesthetics, not just in the alternative world of drag, but just in general. I love exploring a bunch of different things. But some of the things I'm most well known for are my TikTok videos. You can find me at Kilda Drag Queen. I am very active on TikTok. I am also non-binary, and I'm known for my activism for the trans and non-binary community and being very vocal about non-binary and trans issues. And I'm also just known for being the spookiest drag queen in Des Moines. So enough about me, more about my performance. The song I did was Bela Lugosi's Dead, originally by Bauhaus, and the cover is by Nouvelle Vague. And I just really love that song because it's so sad but so beautiful at the same time, and that really reflects what Inner Demons means to me, is that I can take something so sad and dark like death and loss. Like, I've lost a lot of things. I lost a very important relationship with someone very close to me this year, so loss to me is just one thing that I have a lot of trouble like coping with. So I like to turn my trauma and my sadness into art, because that's what us mentally ill drag queens do with our time. So I did this performance to Bela Lugosi's Dead to showcase just sadness, loss, death, and just make it beautiful. So I think I deserve to win. Well, I don't really know because I haven't seen everyone else's yet, but I did ballet in mine, and that's pretty cool. And also, like, the looks in it are great. And again, ballet, like ballet is another thing I'm really well known for too. So thank you so much for having me on Luna's Drag Macabre, and I really hope I didn't mispronounce anything or say anything weird with my American accent. I love all of you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very, very much for that. That was fabulous. Literally, you can tell I'm going in blind to doing these. I didn't even realise how similar our makeup was today, but well, there we go. You look good. Again, I thought the looks that you served in that performance were really, really lovely. I really enjoyed it. I love the look with the red hair and where you were close up to the camera. I think you've got gorgeous eyes. I love the way you do your eye makeup, and I think you emote beautifully during performance. I think that's really, really, really good. The only thing that I would say is I would have probably liked to have seen you doing the ballet, like seeing your feet a little bit more, only because at some parts it was difficult to tell, and while still effective because you were moving differently to just walking, I just think being able to see your feet and the ballet shoes would have really, really just taken it that one step further. I just want to see you thriving in what you're good at and really, really get to see that. Crystal Paul, I bet you can't do ballet, can you, sweetheart?
Well, I can't really do ballet, but that's mostly because I haven't got any feet. But I can do a good head bop when I go down the clubs, you know, roll around on the dance floor. People love it. So, Killed a Man. The song I loved. It was great seeing the outdoors, and it was great seeing the contrast of night and day. I really liked that. I wanted to see more of the ballet, you on your tiptoes. It was there, you were hinting at it, you were almost showing it, but it was just off camera, and I wanted to see that skill, like you've got that skill, show it off, because it contrasts and works so well with spookier, darker themes, and it's a tool set you have, you utilise it as you did, but throw it in our faces. The track and the number had such a steady, slow build up, the atmosphere was brooding and growing, and I wanted it to explode in chaos, but actually I think you created a mood and you had such a haunting stare through it that it worked well in that. So well done.
Thank you, darling. And moving on, Twinkle Toes herself. I'm just kidding. This one ain't light on their feet. This is the middle-aged dad at the wedding. Granny Vicky. How did you enjoy Killed a Man, my darling?
There is no lie there. I am the middle-aged dad at the wedding. However, I did used to do ballet. I know, shock horror. The whale did ballet once upon a time. I would like to say, Kilda, that you went to so much effort to put ballet in this performance. And I fully appreciate it. I could see you doing it. We could all see it. I would have loved to have seen your feet. I think point is such a beautiful skill to have that we missed it. I love the fact that you focused on, again, a trauma of loss, which is so deep rooted in so many people that have lost someone that they love. So bravo for tackling such a huge inner demon. I thought what you did was absolutely stunning. So you said in your confessional that you wanted to take something really tragic and turn it into something beautiful. And I absolutely think that you achieved that with this performance.
Lovely. Thank you, my love. And finally, our extra special guest judge this week, Ord-Faced. What are your thoughts on Killed a Man, my love?
Killed a Man, I think you are so bold and awesome for taking something as heavy as loss or heartbreak or death and turning it into art. Not everyone can do that, not everyone is willing to do that, and you did. So, props to you. I also enjoyed the contrast between the day and night, the different times you chose to perform as this character. To me, it really showed the flip between like what you were experiencing from like lightness to darkness. Also, your ballet dancing did not go unnoticed. Rock on, Kilda Man.
Perfect. Thank you. There you go, Kilda. You killed it. Moving swiftly along to our next performer of this evening, we must get a little hot under the collar and meet Travis Hot. Let's meet the monster.
My name is Ria and I'm also known as Travis Hot, who is my drag king persona. I'm 23 years old and non-binary. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm from London. For me, drag is another way to express myself and kind of explore more parts to who I am. So I started drag during lockdown last year, during the pandemic, so that was March 2020. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I kept hearing messages and people saying like, oh, you know, like nothing compares to being a drag queen, anything else, being a drag king or drag thing just isn't the same. And I thought, why was I letting those people dictate what I want to do and how I feel? So that's how the journey began, and I started experimenting, and yeah, Travis Hot became a thing. My dog here is getting involved. Yeah, so I started doing drag, and I mainly focused on like makeup looks to try and get myself comfortable with how is it that I wanted Travis to kind of look. I still feel like there is no one way that Travis looks. It's very similarly to like myself. I like to say that I'm very fluid. I kind of just flow with what feels right and what feels good to me. And so I just kind of have fun with Travis's looks. I don't think that they are particularly one way or another. I think there's sometimes that Travis can look a little bit more femme, androgynous, mask, and just kind of like go with it. Sometimes I want like a natural look, sometimes I want to look like I'm not even human. For this particular performance, I wanted to kind of dig deep into my own past and present also, in terms of how I manage and have dealt with my mental illnesses. And I kind of wanted to kind of depict how it feels having this looming presence of depression, of mental health, like being a negative force within me, and kind of making me feel like I'm not worthy and like there's no escape, basically. There are elements where it's a little bit dark. I try not to make it too dark, and I hope that you kind of take this performance to kind of really understand like what it feels like to go through something like this. And it's also a reminder that it's okay to not be okay, and to get help when you're ready to. There's nothing wrong with getting any help and talking to others and expressing how you feel. It's a very healthy thing to do, rather than bottling it all up and giving in to these things, these demons that control us. Having started doing drag during a pandemic meant that I haven't actually had the chance to perform live ever, which probably seems very strange to other people. I actually also have never been to a physical drag king show also, so sometimes I feel a bit like I'm a fraud, but I have done a few online performances and like sets that I've prepared, but I'm really excited for the future in terms of seeing some shows in person and getting involved. Like, I think there's so many parts to Travis that the world has not yet witnessed, and I am ready to give you a little bit more of him. In terms of winning this, I don't know, I feel, would you be proud of me if I win? I think I should win because of him. No, I feel like my drag is original in the sense that I don't necessarily have like one theme. I'm just fluid, I'm just kind of going with the flow, and just having fun really. And I hope that you guys can see a little bit of who I am. This dog is going crazy. Alright, you can leave me. Yeah, I hope that you guys can see a little bit of like who I am and what I stand for. And yeah, I don't know why I should win. I just would like to win, but if not, then I wish whoever wins all the best. You deserve it.
one you call love. This is our war.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much for that, Travis. That was really, really, really powerful. I've really got to say, straight off the back, I really, really, really enjoy you as a person. I love your vibe. I think you've got a great energy about you. And that was initially what drew me in. I was really, really excited to see what you were going to come up with for the performance part. I think the way that you emoted, you didn't lip sync, but you just emoted through a lot of it. And that is something that I think is really, really special. If you can still push along the emotions of a song without lip syncing, I think that's a really, really, really unique talent. It's something that I personally really, really enjoy in performance as well. I don't think I've got any doubts that as soon as we can all start going out and performing again, that you're gonna have an extremely successful career. I don't doubt that for 1 minute. I feel Crystal Paul. What did you think on Travis Hot, my love?
I thought a lot of Travis Hot, my love. I must say, the confessional setting was so peaceful, so lovely. And then when that music burst in as a contrast, I loved that. It was really, really interesting seeing the two characters, how they interacted. You looked really good. I loved the makeup. It was really wonderful. It had that clown white bass that I just love. And it was interesting because whenever there isn't maybe a lip sync and it's more of a narrative, there could be a detachment between the music and what is going on and how the character connects up with the music. But actually there was a real commitment to the story that you were doing, to the characters, to the emotion. You really used it as a chance to express yourself physically, and that was what you were going for, and you achieved that really well. Well done.
Thank you very much, Paul. Moving swiftly on to Granny Vicky. Granny Vicky, what are your thoughts, darling?
I think that performance from Travis was really poignant. For you to come born of lockdown with a performance that I think is so important and has been a real thing during this lockdown, I think was really well executed. I like how you weren't afraid to really go there and really take it to a level that you wanted to take it to. At the end of the day, this is your art, this is your performance, and this is what you wanted to show. And you showed exactly what you wanted to show in the way that you wanted to show it, and had to touch my makeup over it, so it was really good.
Smashing. Lovely. And finally, we mustn't forget about our extra special guest judge this week, Odd-Faced. How did you find Travis Hott's performance, my love?
Trav is hot. First of all, I want to congratulate you for choosing to do what you want to do and to flow and do what feels right despite what the world is telling you, right? And the world is full of opinions and people saying what you should be doing or what's best or what's normal. And you're just like a breath of fresh air, like calmly and just so surely expressing like, I'm just gonna do what feels good for me. I love it. That in itself is a celebration. That takes bravery, and I just want to celebrate that for you. Your performance was very powerful in showing the pain between like the more human version of you versus this thing in the mirror, that skeletal like creature that is a pretty good embodiment of what I've experienced as, you know, self-doubt, inner demons, like that voice in our heads telling us like, you're actually not good enough. You're actually, you should do this destructive thing. And it was such a powerful performance in like these two characters that you created. And I also was surprised and really enjoyed the final character, the third character, that to me was an embodiment of hope and a second chance and just a much healthier and better voice that could potentially replace what I saw as like the toxic voice in the mirror. So that was really, really nice to see. You are so powerful, you are a powerful artist, and I feel like you have a really juicy career ahead of you, no matter what you choose to do.
Beautiful, thank you so much, Odd. We're nearly at the end of the episode, my darlings, but fear not. We have one more performer before we must depart this week. Let's meet Cadaverous Black. Let's meet the monster.
Hi everyone, my name's Cadaverous Black. I live in the UK in a place called the Lake District. Growing up, I always had a very overactive imagination, and I still have to this day. As a child, I always loved dressing up and putting on makeup. I discovered my mum's makeup from a very early age, and I just loved the experimentation and the fact that you could create these characters that were inside your head. I grew up an only child, and I never had any bother really entertaining myself. I was always making something or performing or doing something. When I was younger, I was exposed to a Walt Disney animation called Fantasia. Towards the end of this, there was a scene in particular. The whole thing was set to orchestral music, and the piece of music in particular that this last scene was set to, it was called A Night on Bald Mountain. Now, those of you that have seen this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but please, if you haven't seen this, check it out. It's awesome. I would cite this as my true, this is like the true inspiration for me for everything that I've done throughout my life. This was the thing that really lit the spooky spark inside of me and made me have a love for everything that's spooky and macabre, and ignited my love for Halloween. I loved Halloween when I was younger, and I still do to this day, which is pretty evident. I would always look forward to October 31st every year, the whole ritual of it, the carving jack-o'-lanterns. I would make out costumes with my mum and decorate the house. The whole ritual of it was just so magical and exciting, and then to finally get to live out the character that you wanted to be on the night and go around scaring people and performing and, you know, just living your spooky fantasy. I was obsessed with it, and yeah, I'll show you this really quick. I don't know if it'll focus on camera, but that was me when I was little. Not much has changed. Unfortunately, I would go through a bit of a dark period, and I lost all my confidence, and yeah, it was really tough. But ultimately, through that dark period and through the sort of mental space, the headspace that I was in, that's the time that I discovered my alter ego, Cadaverous Black. The performance that you're about to watch is, in a nutshell, kind of the origin story of Cadaverous Black. In the future I will be releasing like a fully realised concept, whether it be in the form of a music video or a mini movie. It will explain in detail the origin story of my alter ego, but breaking it down really quick, this is obviously a dramatised version of real life events, but the beginning of the performance starts with me in a graveyard, and getting to the crux of it involves me digging my own grave. Now this is really dark, but this is truly this is art imitating life. It begins with me basically digging my own grave, and I accidentally come across a coffin 6 feet under. I wipe away the dirt, I open the lid, and inside I find my alter ego staring back at me. And ultimately, that's the thing that saves me. So this is a metaphor for resurrection and using the things that are, you know, that get you down, or the things that stop you in life, the darkness, powering through, and you know, stepping away from everything for a second and realizing, you know, what you have, and use your full power and your full potential to live out your fantasy and show people who you really are. So yeah, ultimately, why I believe I should win. A lot of effort went into this performance, and I think it's evident when you'll see. It was very hard. Like I say, this was shot during the pandemic, and I had to do everything myself. The day of filming, I had to wake up very early, go to the location, set up a power supply, and set all the props up. But I want people to know, and I want to be a voice for young, weird queer kids out there that are told that they can't do this type of thing, that, you know, it's nonsense, that you can't do this. Of course you can do it. Anything you want to do in life you can do. It's the whole if you mean it you'll make it type of thing. And yeah, ultimately I want to be a voice for those type of kids out there, and I want to be the person that I wanted to look up to when I was younger. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my performance, and sit back, relax, enjoy. Thanks very much.
Come on, production. Cadaverous, that was an absolute pleasure to watch. Again, another one that I think we'd probably get on like house on fire. Love your vibe, love your energy, love it. Even down to the confessional, I'm a little bit blown away with the production of everything, your backdrops, the sets, things like that, the way that you shot it, the way that you went out, you did the fire, which you didn't mention in the confessional, which was actually a really nice surprise because I didn't go in expecting it. So good job on keeping that one quiet. Your costume work is exquisite. The attention to detail on things is just exquisite. You can tell that you've kind of been working at this since you were really, really young. You can really tell that you've got some knowledge under your belt. Very, very well done. Crystal Ball, how did you find our super beast?
Yes. That's all I want to say. But due to contractual reasons, I've been told I have to say a few more words. Cadaverous Black, honestly, I loved your energy in your words. They seem to be really come from your heart and mind and how you were speaking. You seem so industrious, ambitious, self-propelled with what you wanted to do, and it seemed so authentic. And that was just in the confessional alone. Then when the number came on, it was a fantastic lip sync itself. That was technically wonderful, and the gorgeous backdrop of being outside, the flaming cross, the depths and shapes of your face and the makeup. They were built for camera. I can only imagine what they look like on stage. I love the sense that from confessional to that number, you seemed behind it all. You acknowledged the help in it, and that's wonderful, but it seemed like it really had your soul in it. God, I'm so turned on by all of that. Well done.
Thank you, Crystal Paul. I'm going to miss all that wisdom. And of course, the miserable old slag and Cadaverous' twin when she's out of drag. Granny Vicky, how did you find that, my love?
Okay, I just want to start by saying, as a young gay kid watching Night on Bald Mountain for the first time, I get it. I was there. I was that kid. That performance was mind-blowingly good. Really, really fresh take, which I liked. I felt like I watched like a whole mini movie, and there wasn't one point where I could take my eyes off the screen. It was just mesmerizing and so good. I really loved it. And you mentioned in your confessional about telling your story through a mini movie, and that's a mini movie that I would like to see, as well as an OnlyFans if possible.
Smashing. Thank you, darling. You can go back to sleep now. I know it's been a long season for you, bless you. And our extra special guest judge, Ord-faced. I'm pretty sure you're going to be obsessed with the production of this. How did you find Cadaverous Black?
Your performance reminded me of my YouTubing days. It reminded me of working as a scare actor in haunted mazes. You are blessed. Let me start there. I loved the Haunted Mansion backdrop. I love the Haunted Mansion. First of all, your lighting, just to start somewhere. I can also relate to growing up on watching Fantasia and Night on Bald Mountain and having that shape my childhood. So I am just feeling this performance on so many levels. Also, you as a baby vampire, you were so cute, and as an adult, your fire performance lit up my life. It really resonated me when you said finding your alter ego in a coffin actually saved me, because before I found makeup and special effects makeup, I felt so unseen and so congested in this box that I was as a person. Like there was just something that wanted to come out, and I didn't feel like I had permission to be that and embody that. And a lot of people saw me as like shy and cute and quiet, and leaning into special effects makeup allowed me to find some power in being like scary and being, you know, kind of creepy. And I just saw so much confidence and power in your performance, and you are a threat on so many levels as a performer, as an artist. Your performing ability, how you've done your makeup is so flawlessly blended in. Everything, your hair, the locations you chose, how you lit your set, how you built it. I'm so excited for you. This was such a treat to watch on so many levels, and I love that you said that you want to give people like a fantasy, like a show to watch, like the whole package. And I so deeply enjoyed the fantasy that you created and performed for us. So thank you. Because from an artist to another artist, you lit up a little fire in me that had gone a little down a little, and thank you. I'm so excited for your career and whatever you choose to do after this.
Beautiful. Thank you for your input this episode. Honestly, it means the world to me. So that's just about everybody. We've seen all our performers, and now we've got to decide who's going to win. So here on these tarot cards, once again, I have all of the judges' votes, and it's going to be an interesting finale, put it that way. Now, I would also like to know, which team are you on for the finale, and who would you like to see snatch the crystal skull and all our other goodies? Come on, I haven't got all night. I've got things to do and potions to brew. You can join us again next week for the grand finale of Luna's Drag Macabre Season 1, in which we'll all be joining hands, having a seance, cutting up and kikiing, and deciding the winner of this season. And of course, this is my show after all, so don't expect everything to be smooth sailing. There may be a few twists, turns and surprises along the way. Thank you so much, of course, to our crystal pool, to Granny Vicky.
The finale, whichever word best suits it. The effort, the depth that people went to, the difference and variation in what they did. Ooh, it's gonna make it tight and difficult. But someone will prevail. That's what we all came here for. And the theme of inner demons really made people put their unique spin on it. It's going to be exciting.
Some great input. Darling, I've got something great I'll put in some of these contestants. Dirty cow. It's not all glamour. Hello. Jarmies. Ooh. Can't wait for the seance next week. I have to bust out my seance wig again. Although I did wear the original Granny Vicky wig in memoriam of the last ever episode. My hair lovely. Needs a brush though. We're done now. I need a shit. See ya.
Thank you to all the guest judges we've had this season. It's been great to have your input, and I really, thoroughly appreciate it.
It has been such a treat to watch you from the sidelines. I've just found myself smiling constantly. This has been such a fun night. I really enjoyed seeing all the performances, all the artists. Do I have any last thoughts? I have some advice for anyone who would like to take it. Keep creating. Keep creating, no matter the medium, no matter the form, even if it doesn't make sense to you at the time. It doesn't have to be grand, it can be small. Just keep creating in whatever way feels good, and whatever way feels right and flows for you at whatever stage of your life that you're in, because that is what you as an artist are meant to do. That's just my opinion. And this has been fun. Congratulations to all the artists. Thank you for showing up. Right? Showing up is hard. So, yeah, thank you for having me, and see ya.
before I get too soppy and emotional, I think it's about time that I signed off and disappeared, because I'm going to get all soppy because we've only got one episode to go. So without further ado, stay spooky. I'll see you on the other side. Unpleasant dreams.
Tonight's the night that we crown a demon, baby. Of course, there'll be many tricks and turns along the way, and who knows who or what we just may bump into. I guess you'll just have to tune in to Luna's Drag Macabre, the finale, to find out. See you on the other side.